for them to insinuate that Charlie was like afraid of his donors to get on stage and criticize Israel. Do I need to show you exhibit A, B, and C? I guess I do. I like her podcast. I listen to it all the time. I think she have a lot of insightful things to say. But for whatever reason, Megyn Kelly is making a decision to side on foolery on some of these topics. I mean, absolutely foolery. I don't know why these people have a vested interest in recreating Charlie Kirk's belief systems. They're obsessed with he can't speak for himself. Can y'all let his wife?
Mind you, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, they are not recreating anything. They are providing receipts to the American public about exactly what Charlie was saying. Video proof, text message proof. Unfortunately, Officer Tatum was not part of the circle of friends around Charlie to really speak on what was actually going on with Israel. This is why Officer Tatum is just saying what he sees by a generalization, observation of Charlie Kirk and what everybody online is doing.
If Erica wanted the world to know that Charlie was abandoning Israel or something, I think his wife has the right to say it and prove it.
Why would Erica want to say that to the world? Hey, by the way, the truth about Charlie was this, this, and this. All of a sudden, they're gonna the corruption party is gonna look directly at Erica as the next target to eliminate, because she is now the CEO of Turning Point USA. So no, it would not be smart at all for Erica to come out and say the truth. This is why she is being hush-hush. She is doing things the way a normal human being would be. She's still mourning her husband and still trying to run this organization. And luckily, she has people like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, and all these other people online that are really still asking questions about the Charlie Kirk assassination. And when you have, people that, are supposedly friends with Charlie, such as Officer Tatum, who are coming on here blasting other conservatives because of what he thinks they don't know, is just irrelevant. It's making him look like a fool on the internet, honestly. I don't even have to know anybody in this circle, but when you have multiple people speaking on the same exact thing and have proof of it and show it to the American public, then okay, I'm going to be agreeing with the truth. But somebody that's saying, yeah, my wife, she's friends with Erica Kirk, they text all the time, that doesn't mean a damn thing. And I've said that in my other video. Something's going on with Officer Tatum and the way he's approaching this. This is something that the left really loves to enjoy. The right tearing themselves apart. How and when and why Officer Tatum decided to basically create another path that's linking towards the left is going kind of crazy. It's crazy.
Everybody else that's talking is speculating. And if Erica's not speculating, why are y'all speculating? And it's not that he changed his beliefs on anything other than Israel. Why are y'all so obsessed with Israel? People like me wouldn't even be talking about Israel if it wasn't for people lying and being weird about Israel every day. To take the side of the people that have momentum right now. She will not criticize Tucker Carlson for the asinine things that he's done. She should be all over him with that stupid interview and all the other interviews that he's done. You can like a person and call them out. I like Megyn Kelly, but I gotta say something about this. And siding when she refused to say anything about others. There's a difference between not want to name people and call them out, because really it's not about the person, it's about what they're doing. It's a difference between not want to name a person but calling out the garbage that you see versus you don't want to name them and you don't want to call out the garbage. Y'all remember when Netanyahu, that letter that Charlie wrote to Netanyahu came out and people had been lying about the context of it? Megyn Kelly didn't say nothing about that. I didn't see on her show she said nothing about it. It's interesting. No. It's not just interesting. People completely lied about the whole thing. All right. Let's get to the Megyn Kelly.
That's because Megyn Kelly is the only one that's really like, hey, I'm not trying to get involved with the Charlie Kirk assassination and what's been going on with Israel and all that stuff. She's just saying, hey, this is what happened when Charlie was alive, this, and this. Tucker was there. I don't know Candace that well, but, she can do what she thinks is right. I mean, if Candace Owens was doing something very wrong and negative, Erica Kirk, any moment, any time, any day, could be reaching out to her and saying, hey, listen, I respect that you had this great relationship with Charlie Kirk, but I would appreciate it if you just not look into the investigation. I just want you just to mourn like I am. I don't want you exposing my husband all over the internet and trying to figure out what happened that day. I just want to get past it, blah, blah, blah. Now, if she said something like that as an approach to Candace Owens has already admitted that she would back off. If Erica Kirk decided to come to her and say, hey, I need you to back off with Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens would do it in a heartbeat. But she said she hasn't. She's just asking questions. And I do not like, I don't care if you're on the left or the right, conservative, Republican, if you are not about wanting to come to the table to have a discussion and ask questions on anything, I'm not sure if you're entirely willing to sit down to create peace with everyone in this country. That being said, I'm talking about Tucker Carlson in his interview with Nick Fuentes. Officer Tatum got butthurt because Tucker decided to have him on his platform. Who cares? He wasn't trying to boost Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes has his own platform. He can boost himself. He already has people following him. You don't believe in his views? You think he's a racist? I think he's a racist, but you shouldn't be criticizing Tucker Carlson for interviewing the guy or anyone. If anything, we want more conservatives to sit down with the opposition to say, hey, I want to sit down with you. I don't like your beliefs. You don't like mine. Let's talk to each other and see on things that we do agree on. That way, we can have a better understanding of each other's character and present this to our followers to show, hey, we have some sort of peace deal on things that we agree on. There's a lot of things we don't. You're racist, whatever. But you know what? This is where I come from, and this is what I believe that could help bring people together. Now, what do you say? You want to have that dialogue. You want to have communication. Officer Tatum here is not wanting to have, even conservatives sit down and have a discussion just because. And listen, the Cartier family called this out on Officer Tatum as well. You guys can go check the Cartier family about this, but they specifically said, Officer Tatum's butthurt because Nick Fuentes decided to use the N-word on one of his episodes. And according to the Cartier family, they're like, it's kind of weird because Officer Tatum, he once said that he doesn't care if anybody in the world uses the N-word, he wouldn't get offended. And Officer Tatum made a video specifically about Nick Fuentes about using the N-word. Like, people are going to say it. People are going to say it's racism. We don't want to boost him up, but hey, we can sit down with Nick Fuentes and say, hey, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't say this, because if your intentions and my intentions is to help come to the middle and create peace, I'm telling you right now, saying that openly like it's a joke is not going to bring people together. And if your intentions are not to bring peace in this country, then that's when you criticize and say, okay, if you don't want to, then you push them away and say, okay, I don't need them. I don't need to interview him ever again. We don't need to give shout out credits. We don't need to say his name. But you got to give the chance to give people that chance to speak.
I'm an American citizen. Yes, I want Israel to win. Yes, I'm a Christian. But some of the mess, and you've seen how I've been treated, Megyn, by some, not all, by some.
No, it's very irritating.
It's
been so unfair. They were coming after you after Turning Point for, among other things, that you had Dave Smith there. Dave Smith is allowed to criticize Israel What both sides? The Israeli side was
You're not allowed to,
overrepresented.
though. No, you're not allowed to. It's even worse than that. Again, I just want to repeat for the 5th time. I love Israel. I want Israel to win. But my moral character is now being put into question, Megan. Not my decisions. Not like, hey, are you doing this? Is it smart or is it dumb? But no, I am a bad person if I do this. And I could go, you saw it, Megan. It was trending on Twitter, thousands of tweets and text messages. And if I were to be charitable and generous, I will say the people that are attacking me are in a hyper paranoid state because they're at war, and war tends to make things black and white. And you're a hammer looking for a nail. So I'm trying to be charitable, Megan. Literally, I'm trying to cut as much slack as I can, right? Like, okay, what would it be like if all of a sudden I'm starting to see a pattern of behavior similar to what my grandparents saw in 1930s Germany online? How would I behave? So that's like my charitable kind of overcompensation spirit. At the same time, I'm like, but it's not defensible to be dumb.
And listen, in this clip, in my opinion, on this particular clip, and from what I've heard from Candace Owens, and after she showed text message from Charlie Kirk himself, proof, speaking on this, is that a month before his assassination, or a month or two before his assassination, Benjamin Netanyahu wanted Charlie Kirk to use Turning Point USA to help educate the youth on promoting Israel more into their beliefs, in a sense that he can get those youth to start supporting Israel more. And according to the text messages and everything Candace Owens has said, Charlie Kirk said no because he's America first. And like he said in this clip, he's all about, he loves Israel, but when it comes to, and he's not going to say it out loud. He wouldn't want to say it out loud. Because if you say something that blunt out loud, when you have world leaders listening to you after they are trying to make a deal with you and your company, Turning Point USA, and they hear that you said around the world no, then something bad will happen. In either case, even though he said no behind closed doors, he still got killed. And this is why Israel is on the radar around this Charlie Kirk assassination. The more I'm listening to so many different people, not just Candace Owens, it's slowly putting pieces together of the big picture of what happened that day. And this is what true investigative work and journalism is all about. You could be a cop for 6 years. You could be a detective for 20 years. And you could still be missing certain points and asking the wrong questions to figure out what happened in a situation.
Tucker apparently asked Mark Levin to debate him at the Turning Point event. Or so says Mark Levin. Mark Levin went public by reading Tucker's texts saying, he asked me to do this thing with him, and then just went off about how over his dead body would he ever share the stage with this disgusting anti-Semite, and like just a vile attack on Tucker, whom he's literally been comparing to a Nazi. And I just think this is so far beyond. We just finished like a several year period where we tried to make clear to the left that those terms are not acceptable in the public dialogue.
Exactly.
They're too incendiary. They're going to get somebody killed, like President Trump or Charlie Kirk. With him, it was...
And I was just saying that in regards to Officer Tatum. And this is what he's not understanding after watching his clips. And I'm wondering why. Because Officer Tatum's tone has changed. And I don't know why. Did something happen? Is someone talking? That's why there's rumors that someone's paying him. And then there's even a clip. I should have recorded it because Officer Tatum himself said, "I wish I would have gotten paid." Now, just from saying that puts a huge question mark on your intentions as a character. Because no, you don't wish to get paid for doing what the people on the right, are criticizing the left for.
And we should not be resurrecting terms like that to attack or undermine fellow conservatives with whom we have a disagreement on Israel.
After Charlie died, there was basically just me, Tucker, and Megan that were trying to say, hey, something like was going on, and he was feeling a lot of peer pressure in the weeks leading up to his death. And Zionists were claiming that's all a lie. And Tucker was like, no. Charlie asked me explicitly in July to go on stage and to go after Israel, trying to drag us into the Iran war. And I was talking to him about Jeffrey Epstein. And I was saying to Charlie, I won't do it. And Charlie wanted me to do it.
Backstage, right before I went on. And I was fulminating and getting all red in the face like I often do, to my shame. And I was mad thinking about this and thinking about the effort by the neocons in the United States to draw us in to another forever war with Iran. And I said, probably not going to talk about that. I'm not going to torture you. I know your donors hate this when I say that. And also Epstein was in the news, and it was clear to me that Epstein's probably not like a Mossad agent or something, but Epstein clearly had contact with Israeli intelligence. And I said that to Charlie. And I said, but I'm not going to say that because I don't want to make your donors mad. I know it's just going to be like an endless flurry of text telling you to stop or you're going to lose a bunch of funding. And he looked at me, I'll never forget it, and said, go all the way. Do it. Go all the way. I said, man, a lot of things I can talk about. I don't need to talk about that. And he said, do it.
They were all mic'd, okay? So Turning Point captured that, and they could have easily released it to give me a little bit of backup, but of course that wasn't going to come from them. Well, just my luck and Tucker's luck that Megyn Kelly actually caught very quickly, maybe it looks like maybe her assistant's backstage, I don't know the backstory here, but she was in that discussion, which I had not heard before, and she reveals very quickly, you were going to hear Charlie say that Tucker should go for it.
Tucker and I were talking. Charlie came over and interrupted for just a second. And you can hear him on this tape, which I've listened to many times. It's very clear on my phone, less clear here probably as we play it. But he says to Tucker, go Max.
Okay, go Max. Go on.
It's quick. It just happens to be on tape. And it backs up what Tucker said.
Well, Charlie, we're going Max now.
And then in regards to Charlie Kirk interrupting their conversation, Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson, Officer Tatum says in his video that, well, didn't you see how Tucker Carlson just brushed it off like nothing? Yeah, because he didn't want to be recorded. He didn't want people seeing this because they already had a discussion about it. And, Charlie Kirk said, hey, he just ran up and went right between them and said, hey, go Max. When you go on that stage, go Max. And he's going to brush it off in a way like, okay, yeah, I heard you. Okay, yeah, continue conversation, blah, blah, blah. He wasn't going to be like, oh, yeah, go Max. Okay, he's not going to make it known that he is acknowledging what Charlie Kirk just said. So he wants to quickly say, yes, I got it. Like, I got it. Like, they could have just done a wink and be like, I got it. But, there's people out there that want to look at 2-second clips and say, yeah, he just brushed it off. So he didn't really care about what Charlie was saying. No, you weren't there. But when you have Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, they're all talking about the same exact moment in time. And there's nothing conflicting from their stories. And there's video and text message proof to back it up. I'm more inclined to believe that than someone like Officer Tatum, who is just criticizing them on the sidelines. He wasn't part of the group in this particular situation. In my opinion, I believe Officer Tatum just needs to reach out directly to Candace Owens. He needs to reach out directly to Megyn Kelly, reach out directly to Tucker Carlson, and ask his questions, clarify some things that he is confused about, and then present them in his videos rather than criticizing them. Because right now, he is creating a boundary between him and other conservatives on the right. And the more we have this, the more we're going to get more conservatives that are really going to be splitting apart off the Republican Party. And that's not what we need. Because that's exactly what people on the left, the Democrats, are loving about this. We're letting them win by attacking each other. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Till next time. Peace out, everybody. This one's for Charlie.